Good morning, students. Today I am going to tell you about the lesson Silk Road, that is the 8th chapter from the book Hornbill, and it is the first video in this connection in which I will tell you about the summary and some important points that really occur in this video lesson, which will certainly give you a clear-cut idea of this relation. And in the next videos, I will tell you about the details of the lesson that you will learn. Here it is the introduction of the lesson Silk Road. This story is written by Nick Middleton. This chapter is about the narrator's journey from slopes of Rabu to Mount Kailas to complete the Koda. Koda is what a pilgrimage means. It is a traveling for the pilgrims that they complete. So, to bid him farewell, Lamuk gave him a long sleeve sealskin coat. He hired Satan's car for his journey and took Daniel along to escort him to Darchen. So here you must focus on these words, what they are. They are what Koda, that is the place from Rabu to Mount Kailas, and what did he just hire, whom did he hire? Satan's car, and he took Daniel along to escort him to which place? Darchen. So here you must be focused on these points. The protagonist wanted to go to Mount Kailas to complete the Koda. He hired Satan to drive him up to Mount Kailas as a farewell gift. Lamuk gave him a long-sleeved sheepskin coat. He took Daniel as his companion till Darchen. When they started the journey, Satan took a shortcut to the southwest, which was a direct route to Mount Kailas. They had to cross high mountain passes to reach their destination. Satan assured him that it would be no problem if there would be no snow. They crossed through few gazelles, a herd of wild asses, and shepherds tending the flocks. When they reached the hill, they passed dark tents which were home for nomads. He saw a Tibetan mastiff standing outside the tent as guard. These mastiffs ran after his car. Now his car was as he reached near the tents. These dogs had large jaws. Large jaws. What had large jaws? These mastiffs. Who are the mastiffs? They are the dogs. As soon as they entered the valley, they witnessed the snow-capped mountains with rivers flowing which were blocked with ice. Really, these rivers were blocked with ice. When they were riding through the hill, the turns became sharper and roads became bumpier. Satan was driving in third gear. The protagonist could feel the pressure in his ears. He held his nose, snorted to clear the congestion. He checked his wristwatch. They were at 5,210 meters above sea level. It was a very big height actually. They reached their first hurdle, which was a road filled with snow. Satan threw dirt on the snow and drove carefully on that road. They resumed their journey. They started their journey again. The protagonist felt his head was hurting. He took a few sips of water from his water bottle. They were still climbing up the hill. They reached at 5,550 meters above sea level. They stopped again, and this time the fuel tank hissed. This time the fuel tank hissed when Satan unscrewed the top. As the petrol was expanding due to low atmospheric pressure, Satan told them not to smoke around it because it would be dangerous. It would catch fire, and that could lead to another problem. Soon in the afternoon, around 2 o'clock, they stopped for lunch. The protagonist's headache was gone by now. By late afternoon, they reached a small town called Hor. They reached the east-west highway again. It was the old route from Lhasa to Kashmir. Daniel got off the car and took a lift to Lhasa. Their car had a few punctures which worried Satan. He got them fixed, and the protagonist waited at a local cafe of Hor while having a glass of tea. He found Hor a miserable place. After a while, Satan reached to him, and they resumed their journey again. At night, around 10:30 p.m., they stopped at a guest house in Darchen to spend the night. The protagonist got ill and suffered from nose congestion due to the change in the altitude and cold weather. He stayed awake all night. Next morning, Satan took him to Tibetan Medical College, where he consulted a Tibetan doctor who gave him a 5-day course medicines in a brown envelope. Means everyone needs something in emergency, and where they have to be taken, no one knows. So it is the condition. Means here hunger knows no food. Means any kind of food can be eaten, and the thirst does not differentiate between the water, free water, fresh water, and the dirty water. After taking a full day of medicine, the protagonist was feeling good. Satan left him thereafter, assuring his health condition. The protagonist was staying at Darchen. That place had a general store where Chinese cigarettes, soaps, and other things were available. In the afternoon, the men gathered at a shabby table to play pool every day. Women would wash their hair in the narrow stream. Darchen had one problem: it had no pilgrims. According to the local people, in the peak season of pilgrimage, the place would be filled with travelers. He met a person in the Darchen's only cafe. His name was Norbu, who was a Tibetan working in Beijing at the Institute of Ethnic Literature of Chinese Academy of Social Science. He came to Darchen to complete the Ghoda just like the protagonist. He was fat and found it difficult to walk. The protagonist decided to go on the pilgrimage with him. pilgrimage with him. They hired yaks to carry their luggage. Norbu finally said it is not possible for him, while he collapsed across the table and laughed hilariously. His tummy was also too big. So it is the whole summary and the main things that I told you, and in the next 3 videos I will tell you something more. Thank you, children. Thank you.